So I was trying to run this. And it's black still. And I was trying to figure out why that was black. I guess I can see if the model view or the projection matrices that I'm passing here have something wrong with them. Oh, this takes a model view matrix and I'm passing a view matrix. So for a model view matrix, okay, let me just do this. So this is the view matrix. Then I'm just going to pass that as the model view matrix. View. Which I'm pretty sure is allowed. I don't know why it's complaining here, but not there. Dang. Did it actually get the view matrix? Looks like it did. And then it's multiplying that by the projection matrix. I mean, this looks right. I don't know why this wouldn't appear. -1, -1, 0, 1. Continued. I guess I'll try passing in the projection matrix on my own. I don't know why that would make a difference. But that did make a difference. Why did that happen? Oh, I see what's happening. It tried to pass the view matrix, failed, raised an exception, went to the accept block, and so it went to the accept block before it ran this to insert the projection matrix. So this is just not a good way to set these attributes, or these uniforms, I guess. Anyway, I figured it out, so that's great. I'm going to commit these changes, rebase my stuff, and then see if there's anything to delete, and then I'll probably just try to PR it from there. What is shaders? Oh, shaders test. This is a test shader. Dope. Debug some shaders. Cool. And then I have to rebase the other things on top of it. And of course I got a conflict. OpenGL renderer. Is this the only one? Okay, so this is the only one. Okay, here in the PyMGUI, I guess it'll just crash. There's no try except. It's also disabling the depth test every time, which I don't think it needs to do. I don't think so. Oh, actually, yeah, it doesn't need to do that here, but I do have to make a change somewhere else. So I'm going to keep it like this. And that was the only conflict. So I'll try running some test thing. Great, and this is what I did with PyGUI, basically. Cool. And then the change I have to make is in the code for the shaders. Here, I think. Here, if self.useDepthTest, I have to enable it. Else, I have to disable it. I think. I think that's how it's done. I wasn't trying to do that. But if I go to the current OpenGL renderer, this is an... There should be something that says enable. Yeah, it's doing this, basically. Okay, cool. Okay, okay. I like it. Honestly, I should have done that when I did the merge. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, so I look where I am now. And oh. Well, I guess I did it as part of the rebase. Because I didn't know I was still rebasing. But anyway, now if I go to the three.js server, and rebase this on the PyGUI, of course this has some conflicts. Scene, OpenGL render, and GUI, surprisingly. Guess that's actually... Okay, so this is... which of these do I want? Configure PyGUI. Guess I can just look at the file. I do not remember which of these was... Okay, so this was with the scene selection, and this was the more complicated stuff. Pretty sure I wanted only the configure PyGUI code. So this and this. And this. So that's for scene.py. Then there's OpenGL renderer, which has this. Wait. Yeah, this exact same conflict again. Passing the view matrix and the projection matrix. Yeah, so I want this. Then scene. Oh, I did that one already. I did OpenGL renderer. Did GUI. Then the example code. So much stuff is commented, I don't even know what it's supposed to do. I think I want the stuff from the bottom. So this, and then here I think I want this one. Are there two object test 2s now? There are. But I don't think I need this one. Okay, then if I try to run something, like the object test. Oh, there's still something on GUI. Oh, I didn't save this. Okay. Wait, object test 2. Are these two examples doing the same thing? This one has 2, this one also has 2, so I want it to be something like this. Great. Oh wait, this one was supposed to have 2. This one was supposed to have 1. So now I can go to 1. There's only one of them. Although it shouldn't be shifted. Okay, then I can go to 2, and there's 2 of them. And I can change the opacity. Okay. Render, shaders, test. Okay, then I can commit that. And it's a different thing at renderer. I see why this is happening over and over again, because I have to do it for each step of the rebase. Don't need a message here. Okay, so now if I go to my examples, I should be able to run the server again. If the server is running, which it's not because I reset my computer. What was this? Was it like npm? I forgot it was like node index.js. Okay, now I think it's running. Okay. Okay, perfect. Everything's rebased. That's great. I can change this stuff. Cool. Okay. So, what? I wonder. Maybe I can just PR. I can't PR all of this. No way. All of the shader code is fine, actually. Shader wrapper, I think, is fine. Yeah, that's a very slight change. Okay. So all the shaders are fine. The shader wrapper is fine. Shader.py? This is a brand new file. So I guess it can't hurt anything. Oh, but this file has a lot of stuff that isn't needed. Like line shader, I don't think is needed. Test shader definitely isn't needed. Manim chord shader isn't needed. My shader isn't needed. Curve shader, I don't think I need curve shader. Quad shader, maybe. I should probably save quad shader somewhere. If I go to shader.py, there's a fair amount of stuff that I can just delete. Line shader, yeah, I'm never gonna use this. Definitely never gonna use that. Test shader, never gonna use that. Manim chord shader, never gonna use that. My shader, never gonna use that. This is basically the full screen quad. Curve shader, I don't think so. Curve. Does this shader even exist anymore? Yeah, the shader doesn't even exist. For curve or quad. Or was it in a different place? Where it was, it's gone now, I guess. Unless there's something else called shaders? No. Holy help. What's it actually called? Like list files only? List files. Maybe it's just dash dash files. Why do I use this command? It's like file name, files with matches. That's what it's called. Oh, but I don't want something matching the string within the contents. I have to do like find. This is what I want. Okay. This is this shaders folder. These are caches. And only in the .git file. Okay, so yeah, those shaders don't even exist anymore. So don't need that. Don't need that. This is a weird place to have this function. This generic shader class I should have. And this is good. Full screen quad should probably go beneath shader, because it's more specialized. There are a few things in full screen quad that aren't even used. Like assignment source isn't used, output source isn't used, input source. This. Okay, I don't think I even need... Fragment shader source is being passed in. So if I don't do this splitting up by lines, I don't even think I need this. And just to test that, I should run something that uses the full screen quad. I wasn't trying to do that. and uses it inline, so the full screen quad test. And nope, that's totally broken. Global variable GL color. Oh, it's deprecated. Which I think I'll have to do is call this frag color instead. Nope, that didn't work either. If I put it as an out. I probably needed some of that pre-processing code. Okay. So I can't delete that much code. Okay, so from here, now can I run it as is? I can. Okay, so some of this code I can't delete. But it's hard to tell what, because this is some messy code. These three for sure I can take out. Actually, this won't be too bad. I'll just have to rerun the code, rerun the shader after each edit. So those three and this I don't need. Okay. Define frag color. Is that what this is doing? This is looking for a place in the source, which is a new line. It's finding that, putting in a first non-white space line index. It's taking an re.match. It's matching at the first white space. Oh, to get the amount of white space in that line. If match groups at 1 starts with a version. Oh, the first non-white space. So it's getting the first line, seeing if this starts with a version, which I think usually it does here. If that starts with version, it's inserting a line, which is out vec4, and then the name of the variable. Okay. So I should have commented that probably. The start of the shader. I'm just saying if it starts with version. If it doesn't start with version. Oh. If the first line is a version string, insert after it. Otherwise, just insert before it. I guess I could just remove this else, right? No, that could be weird. That could be weird. It should be like this. But I could factor this a lot. This should be just insertion index equals this. And then this will be insertion index. And then in this case, it's just the first non-white space index. And then I still do insertion index. So at this point, I can factor this out of the else. Okay, so it's just like that. Or I could factor it even more. You could say insertion index equals this. But if it starts with a version, plus equals 1. Great, and this should still run. Great. And I should run with a name as well. So I do the test2. Like so. Great. Okay, so with that, the full screen quad now makes a lot more sense. It still sort of doesn't make sense. These two lines are these the same? Shader equals shader context, source dict, keys. These are the same. Yeah, so this should be factored out, I think. So to find the exception, you just say if fragment shader source is none and the other thing is none. This is the exception. So then I don't need this else. And then it's just this, else if this. And now I can factor out these lines. Maybe that's less confusing. I should definitely test both of those. Yes, that still works. That doesn't work. Line 100. Okay. So here, fragment shader name. Okay, so it passes that in. If fragment shader name is not none. Okay, so that should have worked. Oh, this is none. Wait, what? Oh, these both say source. So one is name, the other one is source. Okay. That works now. That also works. Perfect, that makes sense. The shader class makes sense, I think. The mesh class makes sense. This utility function also makes sense. Great. Let me take out these if they're not used. Okay. Great. So all of these are okay. This is okay. This is okay. The OpenGL renderer. Yeah, that's kind of a lot of changes. I should change that import star. Import the shader wrapper. OpenGL camera added a model matrix, which is good. Get position function is good. Get view matrix. Wait, what? Yeah, that's good. This makes sense. This makes sense. Why did I take this out? ID to shader program. Oh, I did caching a different way, so I think that's why I did this. This makes sense. Render objects, render group, get render group. Removed all of those. I have render object singular. And this is going to convert shader wrappers into meshes, which is correct. Passing the view matrix and the projection matrix. Okay, this is all correct.